Good morning. Happy Thursday. Fire breathers. This is for Dracarys Fit 2019 0530 for the gym. So, starting with today and for the entire month of June, so you'll hear me address this again as it comes up this month. We're doing a lot of percentage work for some of our lifts. For example, today. So go off, it's up to you as an athlete. And again, if you have any questions, you can contact me, let me know, we can figure it out. But how recent is your most 1 rep back squat? Dracarys Fit, we will be addressing that. Not in the next month, but in July. So we're still kind of working towards that. We did do a 1 rep in January. So if you've been doing Dracarys Fit this entire year, you have your max. Go based off of that for your percentage work. If you don't have a current 1 rep max for today's back squat or for any of the lifts that you have coming up for the month of June, there's a couple different ways to approach it. You can kind of guesstimate, go off your most recent heavy lift and go based off of that and build. Or you can kind of pick what you think is accurate. Like, okay, I did 8 reps of this last month, so I'm just going to use that for this weight today. Totally up to you. See how you're feeling after the warm-up. Look at your numbers. How are they looking? And again, I'll address that kind of more as we get going through the month. But your first task today is back squat percentage lifts. It is sort of timed, and the reason I put that in there is because there's 2 different ways to go about this. You can work to increase your percentage, or you can work to increase your power output under time. So ideally what will happen is you'll do this workout today, log it, have it in there, and then the next time it goes up, you will be working at those same percentages, but hopefully maybe get it done a little bit faster. Because time, again, you can measure your power output based on the amount of time that it takes you to get that same amount of work done. So the way this is scored today, again, just working within the parameters of the host app that I'm using, your score is going to be your 8 rep. So that 70% is going to be your score. Leave your percentages in your notes. So one, I as your coach can see it, but most importantly, you as an athlete have that refer back to. So in my mind, right, you can't know if you're getting better, or you can't really grasp how much work you're getting done if you are not keeping track of it, which is why I have this app. For me, for you, is that you can look back and see, okay, this is what I did last time, versus just pulling numbers out of the air. So again, you have the tie break time in there just so that you know how long did this entire thing take you. It says rest 1 minute in between your 8, your 4, or your 8, your 6, and then 3 minutes after your 4 rep before you go back through the cycle. Obviously, that's a recommendation. You're trying to go for strength under fatigue. However, it needs to be good. If you're going to risk injury or anything of any sort, take more time. Again, the most important thing here is not necessarily how quickly can you get it done. We still want good back squat form. We want good, clean quality, full depth, full range of motion reps. I want you hitting your percentage. The time is just there as a general recommendation, saying don't take too long, but don't just hop right from one to the other. So make sure you're good, ready, warmed up before that. After your squats, you have a classic classic CrossFit workout called the Ghost. This is just pure cardio hell, to be completely honest. So flex your fire-breathing lungs on this one. It is going to burn. You get 3 rounds into this and go, 3 rounds would have been plenty. It's 6 rounds. So again, you want as many reps as possible by the end of the workout. And again, know yourself as an athlete for this. So you want as many as possible. You do not want to redline and then spend an entire round not getting any reps in. So work with yourself to find that balance between I am pushing the pace. This is uncomfortable. This hurts. This burns. I don't want to do this, but I can do this. I can get myself through this. I can keep moving. It's only for 15 more seconds. It's only for 2 more reps. It's only for 2 more pulls. Find that balance. You're going to want to stop. That's good. That means that you're pushing the pace. That means that you're getting better. Not stopping is the important thing. So again, don't pace it from the get-go like, oh, I really should have pushed harder, but don't push so hard that you are unable to push the next round. Leave that feeling for your last round. Come your final round is when, if you have anything left in the tank, you give it all you got, and on your last round of double unders, you're dead. You made it. You've got nothing left. You couldn't have gone any faster. It's all out on the floor. Your lungs are on fire. Everything's burning. You're sweating. Perfect. That's what we're going for. So that's that. Calorie row is a calorie row. Your burpees are standard burpees. Now, if you know me, or if you're learning me, I am a stickler for perfectionism, movement integrity, virtuosity in our movement, virtuosity in our reps. Burpees are a big one for me. So when I was programming for actual classes and having people work out in front of me, I did not like programming just regular burpees because most people do their burpees like this. And I'm standing up, I'm jumping, I'm good. This doesn't count as a completed burpee. Stand up and reach. So my way around that, and a lot of other training programs that I had participated in the past, do target burpees to counteract for that. Because if I'm going chest to deck and I'm forced to touch an object above my head, I have to stand up and reach. Even if I'm not jumping like this, I can hit the bar, I still have to reach. So just imagine that you're doing a target burpee and you have to reach and jump to something. Doesn't need to be as high as possible. Needs to be full extension with a hop though. So make them good burpees. And double unders are double unders. Scaling for this, your only movement is potentially having to scale the double unders, right? Now, again, if you're learning me as a coach or you're new to my programming, I always believe in pushing your skills. So, getting 2 double unders in 60 seconds doesn't seem like a lot, but if you're doing 300 single unders to get there, you're still getting a workout. And I firmly believe that if you are not allowing yourself to have those low beginner scores when you're starting out or when you're developing a skill, you're not gonna try to push yourself to be better, right? Like if I'm comfortable hitting 300 single unders in 60 seconds, that's fine. But there reaches a point where I'm not going to be able to do them any faster, and am I really getting better? So if you have even a couple double unders, do them. This is your opportunity to practice your skills, to push them. Give yourself an RX score, no matter what it may be. Don't be embarrassed, because again, here's the thing. The thing about leaderboards, the thing about tracking workouts, having me look at your workouts, having your data there, having the other people watch. There's this weird phenomenon that happens where it's like the spotlight effect, where we feel that everybody's watching us and judging us. But what we need to realize is that nobody cares. And I don't mean nobody cares as in like nobody cares about you, but nobody cares. So whatever your score may be, if you end up crushing the row, burpees are fine, but you only get, 30 double unders in each 60 seconds, so your score is lower than everybody else on the leaderboard and you're at the bottom. I promise you, especially my athletes, because just the way that I know my people are, you, my friends, my athletes are, nobody's sitting there laughing at you, going, oh, look at that score. But nobody cares. Everybody here is very supportive of each other. I'm supportive of you. I would rather see you practicing your skills, getting a few of them, so then that one, as we work on it, we can improve and get better, and we can look back at this and say, look where I came from. Okay, so that's that. The ghost. After the ghost, we have Bellatrix. My car. Barbell, rig, and a sprint. Hopefully your hands are healed if you did Murph, which is why it's light on the rig today. And it's a sort of heavy-ish barbell for this. This is designed to be able to rep it out, maybe not necessarily unbroken, maybe a little bit heavier than what you're comfortable doing in a Metcon. That's the idea. So you've got power cleans, you've got squat cleans, then you've got front squats. Especially your front squats, they're from the floor. You're not doing hangs at all. And my PVC is upstairs. So I'm gonna use my son's bar. Your power cleans from the ground. Start with those shoulders over that bar, weight in your heels, everything nice and tight. I'm a little overarched, that's my problem. So you don't want to be rounding. Well, we don't necessarily want to be like this. Everything nice and straight. Extend through those heels. Once you're clear of your knees, you want to think, jump that bar straight up, Superman back, keeping that bar close. Catch that bar above parallel, but still in a squat receiving position, and stand up. If you can rep them out and keep your hands on the barbell, by all means do so. If you need to do singles and drop the bar, that is also fine. Just make sure at the top, elbows are up and you are at full extension. So you're not dropping it before you're standing up. Squat cleans, same setup, from the ground, nice slow-ish pull until you're clear of your knees. Extend through those heels, squeeze your butt, Superman, but rather than doing a high pull, you're pulling yourself underneath that bar, catching it in a squat. Stand up, elbows up, full hip extension, then back down to the ground. Again, if you can cycle it, cycle it. If you need to drop it, drop it. For your front squats, you're going to clean that bar up. If you squat clean it, you can count that as your front squat. If you power clean it, just get it into position, hips all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. Your rig movement. You are starting with pull-ups, chin over bar, chest to bar, chest is physically making contact with that bar, not just getting to sternum level. Bar muscle ups, underneath the bar, pulling yourself up and over, full extension. No glide kips, no gymnastics front rises or up rises, nothing of that sort. There needs to be a pull and a dip in this, okay? And then your run, it's there to be a sprint. It's supposed to hurt. Probably going to use it a little bit to catch your breath, but again, be uncomfortable with it. Whatever that looks like for you is fine, but don't just go out for a Sunday stroll for it, all right? If you're unable to physically run, you can sub in an erg for the equivalent distance. Scale the weight on the bar as needed to something, again, that is just outside your comfort zone, but still doable. It's something that mentally you don't want to do, but physically you can. Scaling for the pull-ups, chest to bars, and bar muscle ups, again, is going to depend on you as an athlete. I like having you do something that is training you to achieve the next level. So if you don't have pull-ups, why is it that we don't have pull-ups? What is it that we need to work on? How can we put that in here, make you work hard while still getting the stimulus of the workout? So depending on you, that could be a jumping pull-up, that can be a ring row, that can be using a band for pull-ups. Just depends on where we're at. Same thing with chest to bars. What is it that we're working on with the chest to bar? Is it just getting that pull? Maybe chest to bar attempts are what you need, because somewhere in this process, you're getting to height, you're just not making contact. And this is maybe where you're gonna figure it out. So you're scaling it to an attempt, but in those 10 attempts, maybe you hit your first one. Maybe you've attempted and you just need to get comfortable actually hitting the bar to your chest so you don't have it free, and maybe you need a band. Banded chest to bars work. Maybe you need to do jumping chest to bars. Those are all valid options. For the bar muscle ups, again, where are you at with that? What is it that you don't have? Why can't you do that? If you have your pull-ups and your chest to bars, so you're just working on that as a skill, jumping bar muscle ups, absolutely valid option. Maybe it's the height that you're not comfortable with, so you just need to get up there over the top, get comfortable being that high up off the ground, jumping chest to bars, perfect. If jumping chest to bars is out of your realm, we're not quite there yet, again, perfectly fine. What I would like you to do in that case is go back to the hardest pull-up that you have. So a jumping pull-up, a jumping chest to bar, you'll do 10 of those, followed by 10 dips. So 10 dips off a bench, 10 dips on a matador. So you are doing 2 separate movements to replace that bar muscle up, but that's essentially what a bar muscle up is. So scale that accordingly. Any other questions, comments, concerns about the scaling for Bellatrix? Let me know. All right, you are finishing with, maybe I didn't give it a name. I didn't write down a name. I think pulling, I think I called it pulling 4 or something. Barbell bent over rows. Your prerogative, if you want to do, let me get my baby bar back. If you want to do an underhand grip and pull this way, you can. If you want to do an overhand grip, you can. That's fine too. Heck, if you want to do a switch grip, by all means, do that. Just make sure you switch on the next round. No matter your grip, again, what we're looking for is a straight, flat back, so we're not rounding and then not hyperextending. Flat back. Get as bent over and parallel to the ground as you can. might move a little bit, that's fine. Arms straight underneath you, and you're gonna pull that barbell to just underneath your rib cage, somewhere between your belly button and the bottom of your sternum. Anywhere in there is fine. And as you pull, think about up top, squeezing your shoulder blades together. Keep those elbows back if you can. That'll help engage your lats, use your biceps, using as much muscles as possible. Then you have weighted glute bridges. Again, your prerogative on how you want to get these done. They do make glute bridge machines. So if you have access to a facility that has one of those that's padded and all nice and comfy on the pelvis, use it. That's what it's there for. If you don't have that, grab a ball, a barbell, a plate, a kettlebell, do some sort of weighted glute bridge. You can put your shoulders up on the bench. You can do them flat on the ground. Doesn't matter. However your style, what we're looking for in our glute bridge is those heels are flat on the ground. Your core is tight, as always. Pressing your heels through the floor, hips up to the ceiling. And again, it's all about the butt squeeze. Squeeze those glutes up top. So we want to engage our glutes, our hamstrings, and our lower back as we do this. Down, up, up. Then your score for this workout is your heaviest dumbbell rear delt flies. Very specific, just to show you that again, you're bending over, pull, 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 okay? Again, depending on what facility you're at, if you don't have dumbbells, you can use like fat bells or a machine, cable rear delt flies. So if you're standing and you're doing this number with the cables, that's fine too. Just make note of that in your score, right? Because cables and pulleys make things easier, but you're still working, so that's fine. And then you're ending on weighted GHD hip extensions. So ideally, right, we're at a facility that has some sort of GHD apparatus to where you're pinning your feet in and then able to be flat forward like this, hinging down at the waist and then extending, holding some sort of plate, kettlebell, med ball, etc. If you don't have a facility where you have access to that, you can do a good morning. That will substitute okay for this. So that is that. Don't think I have anything else. Nice long one for today. Keep up the great work. If you haven't told anybody or spread the word about the free month trial yet, do so. This is a great time to try to get friends in with you into the program. Always remember, I don't necessarily care that you're grabbing a friend and having them do this workout with you and they're not a member of the program. Like I said, I think keeping track of your own personal data is the best way to go about things. But if your friend doesn't care to do that and you just want to work out buddy, by all means share it with them and just spread the Jakara's love. So, all right guys, have a good one.